time, I'll start with the presentation, which is going to be about the digital transformation, how the world is changing, and how things are evolving over a period of time, and how. So I hope the slide screen is visible to all of you. Can I have the confirmation from your from Bombay office? Imarticus Bombay office, can I have the confirmation? Or anyone, is it visible? Yeah, Vishwa Bharti, I got it. Thanks a lot, Vishwa Bharti, for the confirmation. So yes, we'll be starting off. So in an investment banking, what are the do's and don'ts? We'll be learning everything. So to start off with, what is investment banking? So I would like to tell you about, see, there are basically three types of banking in India. Number one is retail banking, which is, you can say, a 90% all the banks in India are retail bank. Then comes investment banking, which is 5 to 6%. But this is growing, and next 10 years belongs to investment banking, although there will be a lot of consolidation in retail banking. And then comes the wholesale or the corporate banking. So this is about, in nutshell, about the investment banking. If you all aspire to be investment banker, this is a good platform, good place, because it is India's #1 institute who's giving budding investment bankers to the all the top-notch MNCs and the banks, Indian banks. So if you aspire to be an investment banker, this institute is going to help you achieve your dream, which is going to be very soon achieved if you are going for a 3 months course on a regular basis or a 6 months course on a half yearly. Because entire designing part of this syllabus, whether it's retail banking or investment banking, is done by me. And I must tell you, it's the latest and most updated. And the best part is all the classes are live. So you can very well understand, or you can ask if you have any doubt. So it's unlike the other institutes where you have the recorded session. Here, everything is live, and you can very well ask if you have any doubts. So basically, we all know investment banking has 4 types. So number one being a regional boutique bank, then we have got elite boutique, bulge bracket banks, and the middle market banks. We'll be learning a little bit about the all the 4 types. So if we start with the bulge bracket bank, so it's basically the bank which is the mega banks of the world, which includes the JP Morgans, the Barclays, the Citibank, the Jeffries, and the Stephens and all. So these banks are big in size, big in turnover, big in handling the portfolio. Like if I have to say, just the JP Morgan, it handles more than 50% of entire world's transaction. So rest all the investment bankers put together contribute say 50%, and one alone single JP Morgan contributes 50%. That's the size of the market capturing which a JP Morgan has done over a period of say 100+ years. So then comes the middle market bank. These are the banks which cater to the deal size varying from $500 million to $1 billion. So these are the banks which are huge again, but they are kind of a boutique in nature, catering to a specific customer needs. Then we have got a regional boutique banks, which are like we have got a European bank or an Asian banks or a American bank. The famous example of, if I have to say, the European bank is Rothschild, or we have got Lazard, or we have got Greenhill and all. So these are the banks which are again typical in size, typical in number, and catering to a specific geography or demography. So then comes the elite boutique bank. So they are basically used for mergers and acquisitions. The number one Evercon and LionTree. These two are leading investment banks which are into the mergers and acquisitions advisory, and then capital market and all. So these are the few types of investment bank. We already know what investment bank activities are. So right from IPO enrollment to banks' own investments to mergers and acquisition, raising debt and equity capital, corporate finance, research and analysis. So these are the some of the topics which are there, and these are the points which are being taken care by investment banker. They help in underwriting as well as they help in asset management services. They are very important part of the investment banking research and analytics, which are being handled by top four global consultancies, which includes Pricewaterhouse, Deloitte, KPMG, McKinsey's, and all. Even the major recruiter, if I have to say so, they are like State Street, BNP Paribas, Genpact. Then we have got Deloitte. Because I have been associated with Imarticus from almost now 1.5 to 2 years, and the turnover of students who are joining and the return is almost next to best. So if you are joining and you get good marks, you have good percentage, your short selection is confirmed. So that's a kind of a atmosphere, and that's a kind of a study material which is present for all of you to undergo such courses. So we have got from India side also, like if we talk from the Indian perspective, we have got ICICI Securities, we have got Axis Capital, we have got SBI Capitals, we have got HSBC Securities, and so there are a lot of banks which are leading in India. Yes, of course, JP Morgan is all-time high. But from the Indian perspective, you never know, tomorrow you may be hired in ICICI Securities or an Axis Capital or whatever, Deutsche or Edelweiss financial company. So these are the world's top companies, which include Goldman Sachs, Merlin Ridge, Royal Bank, UBS, State Street. State Street is one of the major recruiter. BNP Paribas is another major. Barclays, good. Even JP Morgan, they also recruit. So if you are planning for, see, I have already told you, JP Morgan is more than 50% of the entire world. Although this data is of 2019, 4 years back, but roughly 3.5 years back, if I have to say so. But the situation is almost the same. It's almost next to 50%, the JP Morgan. So that's something. Now, all of you must be wondering, what are the skills we all need to be an investment banker? So basically, we need 5 specific skills to say so, intellectual. So I would like all of you, if you are intellectual in nature, you like to analyze, you like to read, you like to correlate, you have good knowledge about economics or what is happening in the surrounding, like the China-Taiwan war, or the Russians and the Ukraine war, or whatever the problems which are being there in the Sri Lanka or Pakistan, for that matter, Bangladesh, if we say so, India's neighboring country, including China and all. So how the dynamics are changing, what are the requirements, and discipline is something which is very important. See, we all see that investment bankers are like globetrotters and they are enjoying life and all. But guys, they are always in a pressure cooker kind of a situation. So this is something which I would like all of you to be mentally prepared, that if you are entering into an investment banking field, then it's morning 9 to eternity. It can be 12 hours, it can be 10 hours, it can be 8 hours, it can be even 18 hours also. So depending upon the work, depending upon the requirement, you may be working depending upon the requirement. So it's always a high intense, and the best part is you get paid heavily. You enjoy life because your family is happy, because you are getting the best of the best salaries. You have the best of the best offsites. You have the bonuses, incentives, and then you have offshore visits and all. So that's what something which is very important. Creativity, yes, one needs to be creative and one needs to be innovative at the same time. Then open-mindedness, yes, we all, you never know, tomorrow you may be working in a North America region. So you need to know what are the cultures, what is how they celebrate, because I am sure you will not find so many Holi Diwali in North America, but you may find Thanksgiving, you may find Basters Day and all that. So these are the kind of Halloween. So there are different festivals celebrated there. So this is something which all of you should be aware about. And one needs to be learning new skills. One needs to be learning new language. Suppose if your clientele is say Chinese, so there is no harm in learning Mandarin. Or if your clientele is say uh, from Paris or France, you never know, you may be learning French to communicate. So this is something which is very important in relationship building. So these are the basic 5 traits which I am sure all of you must be having, or if not, you can inculcate and you can develop. So if you are having these 5 traits, you can very well be a excellent investment banker. Yes, it's a very important point that what is the future? Future, we all are working for a stable future. So unless and until we know what is there at the after the syllabus and after the course, the future is bright. Let me be upfront. Only thing is you have to be the best in the curriculum. You have to be best in understanding the word, what is being taught in the class. So you need to correlate what are the ways, how things are changing, and you have to be smart. You have to be sensible. You have to be mature. You have to be adaptive and you have to be passionate. So these are the few things which are very much required if you want to enter into an equity research or you want to enter as a financial advisor or an IPO or a mergers and acquisition. So these are the few things which are very important. This is a industry chart right from like these are the ways by which you can be into like you need to know about the industry, what is happening, how industry is evolving, how corporate finance, capital market, project finance, all these things are changing. Yes, traveling is going to be extensive. Suppose you are traveling between 2 continents or within continent, within countries. So it's a high pressure. Only thing is you have to be working on a good a good mindset. You have to be updated with what is happening with the financial system across the globe. What are the dollar rates? What's the conversion rates, and how the fluctuation is affecting overall. So these are the things which are very much required. This is basically the hierarchy which is there. So you may start as an analyst and then associate, and then you may go up to AVP, VP, senior VP, executive VP, and then overall management MD. So there are different departments and there might be different MDs of each department. So that's the hierarchy which is there. So now how the digital transformation is evolving. See, the world is changing and we all are changing. Now India is #1 if we say from the digitalization across the globe. And if we say from in 2016 when the demonetization happened, India was hardly 0.5% digital. Today it is roughly 28% digital. And with the speed with which it is growing, it's going to be double in next 5 years. So this is something which is very good for India, for people of India, and for the prospective bankers who wants to be an investment banker, because investment banking is growing leaps and bounds. So it is helping customer experiences. It is helping in competitive. See, if I have to say from the key features or key transformations which are happening, #1, if I have to say, it's automation and efficiency. #2, if I have to say, it is data analytics, how the world is changing and how what are the executions, the settlements. If I have to say, the future is going to change in banking from a normal banking, wired banking, to a blockchain-based banking. Right now, we use a Swift technology wherein data is getting transferred through wires, through cables, and it takes time. Say a transaction happens between New York and Bombay, so it takes roughly 48 hours. But the future in next 2 years, 5 years, once the blockchain is implemented in banking, so it's going to be say 30 seconds, 1 minute. So that's going to be a quite a time save. Plus, it's going to be effective Plus, it's going to be secure because your data are always going to be in blocks and they cannot be hacked or they cannot be encrypted easily without the proper person having the right set of keys. And plus, the artificial intelligence is changing. We learned about artificial intelligence over a period of next 20 minutes. How the digital platforms are changing, the way the embedded finances are coming, wherein an amalgamation of a platform with the banks are happening through API, which is application programming interface. So how things are changing, and it's going to be a quite an interesting points which are going to be discussed in your learning cycle, because all the points which are there have to be you will love if you go through the curriculum and if you go through the study material and all. So a lot of platforms wherein now software are getting there, wherein which are designing your portfolio analysis, wherein you have to put in your data in the form of a questionnaire basis. Plus, it's going to kind of advise you that this is how it's going to be taken into consideration. I've already spoken about DLTs, which is distributed ledger technologies and blockchain. Then we have got regulatory compliance and risk management, which is changing the way the now banks are turning out to be an open architecture. Earlier, banks had closed architecture. So with the open architecture, they are turning out to be more flexible. They are turning out to be more secure, and plus, they are more kind of enabling themselves with new age fintech companies. And it's the way the world is changing. Like unless and until the banks are not getting collaborated with fintech, frankly speaking, in next 5 years, banks will not survive. So for banks to survive, they have to collaborate with fintech companies, and they have to be working in hand. Because if the banks try and touch fintech or fintech try and touch bank, they may not succeed in both. Banks and fintech, they hand in hand, then they are going to be a superpower, which we all are going to see. Cyber security, yes. In fact, last to last year, there was a fraud of 1.85 lakh crore worth of Indian rupee across the globe. So that's quite a huge, close to 2 lakh crore kind of a fraud. But now that's getting reduced with the new age technology, with the more checks which which are in place. Talent and culture, that's the way we have to be evolving, we have to be learning, we have to unlearn, relearn, and then we have to upskill ourselves. Gone are the days when we had a degree and we used to get a job. So now those kind of things will not be available. We have to be updating ourselves with the new age uh, data, with the new age learning, with the new age processes, and how the world is evolving. We have to be updated on every aspect. And mark my words, if you join this investment course of Imarticus, you will be learning everything in detail and you will be learning everything latest. So that's something which is very, very important. So which you all are going to love it then. Ecosystem integration, yes, the data are getting seamlessly integrated, the infrastructures are changing, the landscapes are changing. Now a lot of people are getting into a digitalization. The best example, if I say from the Indian perspective, it's the Jandhan accounts. Like in 2013, India had 3 crore bank accounts. Today they are close to 55 crore, out of which 47 crores are Jandhan accounts. These Jandhan accounts supported Indian population mainly. I'll say more than 50% of population from the adult point of view. The reason is because they a lot of subsidiaries were passed. So and these subsidiaries were used by these people who are the who are the account holders. So that way the money outflow to Swiss bank did not happen, and money inflow to domestic market happened. And the best part is money came back to economy. So the economy started growing, and we are blessed that our country is number one in world. If we talk from the GDP point, which is hovering at around 7, whereas the next second is China, which is at 4 or in fact below 4. And America and countries like London and all, they are like 0 or 1. So that's a way the India will be growing, whereas others might see a stagnation. India is going to be seeing the growth, vertical growth. And we all should be proud of it, that we will be part of the journey which we are going to embrace, the digital journey, the digital banking journey to be precise. I hope I am audible and I am clear to all of you, as we will be embarking on 20 more slides, wherein I'll be talking about artificial intelligence, the future. So it's basically the simulation of human intelligence. So what is an artificial intelligence? So all the machines, now they are getting simulated by human intelligence. And it's the human being who is designing all the algorithms, all the codes, all the processes of machines. And right now, if we have to say out of the 3 stages of artificial intelligence, we are at the first stage, which is a weak AI or a narrow AI, wherein we are commanding the machines in the form of Alexa, do this, or Srini, do Google, Siri, you do this, or whatever, Apple. So whereas the second level is going to be at par, wherein the machines and humans are going to be at par. The third level, wherein the machines are going to be superior, whereas the individual, the human beings, which is called as artificial super intelligence level. So this, they are predicting this layer will come by 2050, whereas the second layer will come by 2030. The first layer came in 2020. So once the third layer came, it's going to be a problem for mankind because of the evolution issue, because human beings take 20, 21 years to understand, whereas the machines are like just plug in and they are ready to be played, and they have the enough knowledge which is required. So they don't have a biological evolution wherein they have to undergo, say, certain years to grow. They are like already plug and play kind of a model. So we all get confused. What is AI? What is machine learning? What is deep learning? So AI, we have already spoken that AI mimics the human behavior as far as the uh, knowledge is concerned, and machine learning is a subset of AI. That means if we talk about AI as this much, machine learning is inside the AI, which is a subset of AI. And then we have got deep learning, which is further inside. So it's kind of a neural network, which we call it, like in our human body also. Brain has 2 lakh nerves. So no, like we have got neurons in our body, which are like 2 lakh neurons are there. Similar way, machines also have neural networks, and they communicate with those through those networks only. And the best part is, entire network is designed, made, and functional by human beings only. So yes, human beings are now making machines, but you can say 30 years down the line, machines will be a challenge for human beings. So yes, we can see the Matrix or the movies which are there in the Hollywood coming out to be true, but let's see what's going to happen that time. So right now the industry is say $55 billion AI, and this industry will grow to $100 billion by 2025. So this is something which is very important for all of us, because we will be learning new things. See, we will be learning how artificial intelligence is helping banking industry. If we talk from the investment banking or overall banking, so number one, it is helping in fraud detection. So this is something which is very important for all of us to understand how artificial intelligence is changing, because now they are targeting the employee profile, employee in the sense they are targeting the customer's profile, and they are matching it with the kind of a transaction which is required for a certain category of so if there are 10,000 accounts which are there in an investment bank of a branch, it's very difficult to check all the 10,000 accounts every minute, every day. So these artificial intelligence are popping up like warning that this account holder, suppose if I say he's a driver who earns 10,000 rupees. So all of a sudden the pop-up will come that this account has received a funds of 5 lakh rupees. So then we have to go back and check with the customer from where the funds have come, because it's not matching with the kind of profile which he is, because he gets 10,000 monthly and the 5 lakh is coming. So then if he is not able to answer, the money goes back. But if he is able to say that, yeah, I had sold a small land and I have got the proceeds of those land, then the money can be retained and the due diligence is done. So that's all the fraud can be deducted. And these things are helping in real time checking on compliance and regulatory, whether the American law or a Chinese law or a European law or the Indian laws, whether they are functioning or whether the product which we are shipping to America, whether it's following all the guidelines of American set of functions or not, or if it's flying, or if it's going by ship to say the European port, then we have to check whether it is following all the guidelines and do's and don'ts. So this is something which is very, very important. And the AI is helping all the banks across the world with this enhanced tool, wherein they are checking on the compliance, they are checking on regulatory. The earlier one was they are checking on fraud. Then because of these things, the revenue increases. Why? Because the chances of fraud, the chances of mistakes are going to be less. So revenue of a company will increase, which will further lead to cost saving, and which will further lead to you as an employee getting more bonuses, getting more incentives, getting promotions. So that's how. So, and above all, it is helping all the banks in giving the best customer service, because artificial intelligence is learning the customer patterns also. That if a certain category of customer is there, suppose he is into stock broking, or he is into export import business, or he is into a daily challan kind of a business, and that money goes to say Dubai, malab that products goes to Dubai. So then we need to know that what are the patterns which are there for a specific set of customers, and whether the pattern is going on a right track or it's not going on a right track. And then we can judge the transaction of a customer basis the pattern which he displays. And let me tell you, if there are 10,000 employees, all 10,000 will have a unique pattern. So it's not that all patterns are going to be similar to what it is being there, but a unique pattern will be formed. And only thing is, the attributes or the features or benefits or whatever the symptoms are going to be almost the same. The product may vary. So that's how you have to check, gather. So chatbots are now coming in banking industry, and chatbots are changing the way the entire banking is happening across the globe. And they are saving a lot of money. They are saving time. They are saving the man hours. They are saving time for people who can sleep now, because earlier the people who used to sleep, then there used to be people who used to be awake and help them. But now with the kind of machines and the kind of support which we have got at ground, a lot of people are in the sense skipping the they are right now progressing to the highest of highest speed. So as continuing with what chatbots or AI bots are, they are helping in onboarding, they are helping in performing automated banking, they are helping the customer and guiding them on the kind of pattern which they are using, that you are using a set pattern, and your monthly transactions which are happening in the bank accounts, whether it's to do with the of inward or outward remittance, which is coming from as an NRI customer or from abroad. So depending upon the customer type, depending upon the product type and the customer's requirement, the analysis are going to be happening that how banks are using that services, or what are the plus points which the banks are earning, or what are the plus points from customer point of view. So these are going to be changing the way the robo-advisors function. So once the robo-advisors start taking, already robo-advisor that is doing investment through machine is at $1.2 trillion by 2024. So you can imagine the size of market which is going to happen in African, if you talk from the overall market size. So that's the way the markets are going to change. That's the way the automation is going to come in. And the best part is this automation is not going to take away any jobs. So your jobs and the automations are going to simultaneously work because each is going to contribute in their own way. So that is something which is very important for all of you to understand. Okay. So these are the companies which are into robo-advisors, and across the world, these are one of the leading companies who are doing excellent survey or a questionnaire based decision making and understanding customer basis the age, basis the credit profile, basis the long-term goal of a customer, basis the risk profiling of a customer. And all these are done by machine. So all the robo-advisors which are functioning right now in India, they all are functioning because of engineers. So these are the ways by which the AI is helping, or the digital transformation is changing the investment banking, whether it's the customer centricity, or whether it's the fraud detection along with anti-money laundering, or whether it's the usage of chatbots, which is helping the customer with their number, and algorithm trading, robo-advising, wherein they are guiding customers that this is how you have to be doing the trading part, or this is how you have to be doing the business, and that's going to be supporting everyone. So this is a kind of a fintech which are being collaborated with the banking industry. We all know that the future of any banking is going to be blockchain, is going to be artificial intelligence, is going to be a different, like if it say from the India's digital point. So there was news that Indian currency may also change. Although there are a couple of features which got changed, but barring that, the Indian currency remains the same. Number one. Number two, the kind of personality which is required, and it's something which is very much required for anyone to sustain. So this is something which is very, very important. Capabilities, risk assessment, financial landscape, value addition, consistency, decision making. We have got profitability, we have got regulations. So everything is correlated, everything is helping, is getting support from the digital transformation. What used to take days is not taking seconds. What used to take months have been done in days. So there's a lot of shift, paradigm shift, which is happening in the entire global banking industry. So which is going to be very, very good for all of us. We have already spoken about the data centricity or technology or this. So these are the kind of threats which are there, because yes, people have a notion that it's going to take away the job. Yes, it has taken away a lot of jobs, but only thing is it has given also a lot of jobs. The reason is because sorry. So like if you enter into a market and you are thorough with the newest technology, you are going to be always in demand. And once you are going to be demand, you will be picked, cherry picked, and you will be paid best. And you will never be out of the job, or you will never be put in that attrition kind of a mandate. So I would like you to please, all of you to please take this course, learn new aspects of investment banking, and then do well in your life, because the placements are going to be supported, and the end work is going to be best provided you are ready to support. So this is one of the famous line said by one of the authors, which says banking is necessary, banks are not. So this is something which is there. So now over to all of you. How many like I'm through? Any 10 minutes? You have any questions you can ask in the chat box or Q&A, and then we can answer. Yeah, Pooja, or from someone from Imarticus Bombay team, can you check on the questions? You're not audible. Can I have any questions which are there?
Hi Shamir, we've got a question in. They want students wanted to know who is this course advised for?
See, anyone who has done a graduation and is in the age group of 21 to 26. If they are looking for a kind of a job placement kind of a work, or if they are ready to upskill themselves without any assistant on jobs, then any age, even if you are 90 years old or 60 years old or 70 years old, if you are wanting to learn something new, then you are welcome. But from the job perspective, the age should be between 21 to 25, or max to max 26.
Thank you, Shamir. Another question directed to you is what kind of job roles could they consider after taking up this course?
See, they are basically, they can be a analyst, they can be a executive. So it can be depending upon the department they are getting absorbed. Like if we say from the Genpact, they hire in bulk. Like your entire branch can be hired in one go. So this is something which is as per the requirement, but only thing is that all of you needs to have a band A, band B, or band C. If you are in band D and all, then you may not get an offer, because you have to be best in attendance, you have to be best in learning, you have to be best in exams, you have to be best in giving your interviews. And the best part is everything is being taught so that you are best in every aspect. So that is the best part. And still I see lot many people have passed, is because the kind of literature which is being asked is relatively on a higher side, but the kind of literature which will be asked from each one of you will be at this size only, at this level only. So I would request every one of you to give give this topic a chance, and you will learn a lot of new things.
Thank you, Shamir. Another question out here is, what is the investment banking situation in India today?
See, it's increasing. Earlier it was 2%. Today it is 7%, and this will touch 10% very soon. So in retail segment, there is a consolidation. Why? Because of fintech. But in investment banking, it's an expansion. Because now the entire world will be governed by India in future. So India needs at least 1 crore of investment bankers, if not more.
Agreed. Shamir, the last question for the day is, the students wanted to know how do they enroll for this program?
See, they have to just go to the website of Imarticus, and then you have to then touch, you have to just scroll. Their product, the entire product brochures are there. Entire course material is there. What will be taught, and the best part is you just have to click, and the counselor will call you back. Will discuss, and the fees is very, very nominal. Hardly, if I have to say, it is very much affordable. Similar kind of course which I had done it from, say, IIM, it was costing me 6 lakhs. Here it is not even 1.5 lakhs. So that's a level of syllabus. But the best part is, that's a level of the difference. If we talk from this unit, it is at different level. The reason is because sorry, I hope I have explained my query, or any more queries are required.
No, Shamir, this was the last question for today.
Okay.
I think we can conclude our webinar. Thank you so much for the information and for conducting it so well. I'm sure everyone learned something new and something engaging. And we look forward to welcoming you all to more sessions. And thank you so much, Shamir. Have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you all, and have a nice weekend to all. Thank you.
वो भी नहीं